I've never seen something look so beautiful.
I'd like you guys to enjoy the handiwork of my friend Cole's refiner contact in Colorado, and it's a Prospector's 10-ounce silver bar, and I have 4 of them. Let me give you guys a quick little background about these bars here. I've said this before on my channel, I'm not a stacking channel. And there are plenty of stacking channels that discuss silver and why you should own silver, and it discusses things like monetary debasement and government over-promising and unsustainable fiscal obligations and all that yada yada. Everybody kind of knows this is happening, but it's kind of doomer stuff, and we don't really want to think about it too much. We go off on our lives, but there are definitely reasons everybody should own silver, and you don't have to act like me where every single waking minute of your life revolves around owning more. You don't gotta do that. I definitely suggest you don't act like me, but at least a couple 100 ounces per adult. Just own something real, guys. Silver is an amazing asset to own. When we had that big spike in price a couple months ago, I did want to cash out of some of my silver, and here's the story of this. Starts the story of why I have these bars, because when it came time to actually sell some of my silver, it was kind of a nightmare, because the bid for the type of silver that I have and I show on my channel, like 800 silver from Germany and Austria, and the sterling, candlesticks, the candlestick right there. The shops weren't taking it, or they were offering very, very, very low offers, and I was kind of felt like I was kind of overweighted in pure silver. And don't get me wrong, I really love my teapots and I love the silverware. I love showing you guys that, but it kind of showed me that I was a little bit unprepared to deal with the price rise. So when I ended up sending some silver, 800 and sterling, and I have that on video too, $9,000, can't remember. I don't remember much, but part of my payment was I wanted it in silver bars, so the refiner cooked me up these beautiful, beautiful hand poured bars, just so that I wouldn't be so overweight and impractical, hard to liquidate silver, like this candlestick. Now let's talk about impractical, hard to liquidate silver. I have this. It is called a toddy ladle. Toddy ladle. It's probably Georgian era actually, and it has marks. It has marks on it, but hard to see the marks. Hard to make them out. It's small, and we can't really make out much detail. So I don't think I can make out the maker, but I can make out the marks. And then I know that the lion passant is there. We see the London leopard head. We see the duty mark of the king. And then we see a date marking. And then there's probably the maker's mark in the middle, but it's kind of worn away. Unfortunately, it's kind of beat up, and I think that the Goodwill, well, I know that the Goodwill did not properly package my box, and they sent everything as scrap silver plate, and unfortunately this got kind of like in the crossfire, where it's not completely damaged and destroyed, but there is a little bit of denting along the rim of the piece, and then there's a tiny area where it's right here. There's a crack running along the rim here where my fingernail is. I would say that should decrease the value of the toddy by a little bit, but not a lot, because it's still in one piece. It's still a toddy ladle. What is a toddy ladle? Let's go take a look at that. Take a look at that here. A toddy ladle is a smaller version of a punch ladle, traditionally used in the 18th and 19th centuries to scoop hot toddies from a communal punch bowl into individual drinking glasses. Okay, so they often use fine smoothed out coins like shillings or Spanish dollars to create the ladle's bowl. Handles were typically crafted from twisted baleen, whalebone, twisted horn, or wood to protect hands from the hot liquid. Clearly we have a wooden version. I'm glad I don't have anything with baleen. You know, like to deal with animal products in my silver. Awesome. Okay. So value-wise, I would estimate the toddy ladle to be around, I checked the total weight is about an ounce, and there's only about maybe 15 grams of silver, 10 to 15 grams, because the wooden handle is a little bit weighty too. So, but the toddy ladle should go for around 100 to 200, even $300, depending on the provenance and what we know about the silversmith involved in the manufacture of the ladle. So I don't know which one it is, but I could probably find a date, because I do have a date letter. So that's all I'll be able to say, and then I'll have to show the minor damage. But overall, a very nice piece, and it will pay for about the price of the box. And I have around 20 pounds of plate that I'm going to be able to sell as bulk in order to make a bit of a profit on the box. Wanted to describe this to you guys. See what? I really do like to be able to identify patterns. And when I saw this dish here on Shop Goodwill, I was not able to identify it at all, because, well, normally replacements have seen basically everything, and they'll be able to tell me if something has been made in sterling silver. And I thought, this is kind of very weird that it wasn't picking it up as a pattern. But I was so, like, on the fence about this, because all I can see is like it's toned properly, it's beautiful as far as the pattern goes. So I took this shot at it. It wasn't too expensive. Try to figure out what listing that was from really quickly. Sorry, I get so much that it takes me a minute to find the proper listings sometimes. I was pretty lucky because the box came with this medallion basket that I have polished and thrown into my store. Look at how tarnished the picture is on the Goodwill website. That's what condition I ended up having the basket, and I polished it up. And here's what it looks like in my store now. But also, it only went for $9.99. So luckily, and you can see that tray is underneath another. That dish is underneath another dish, and it's also underneath what appears to be a sardine fork. So it wasn't a very expensive gamble, which was very nice. But this dish is definitely some sort of, it's in form of, I don't know what the metal is, but it's like a pewter alloy, and the lighting in the picture didn't give us that much to go off, but I thought it could be sterling from what I was looking at, so it is fine. So I want you guys to keep me in check today. So I had recently sold these as usable candlesticks, and I got a return. And I accepted it. I ate the cost. I got a defect on my account too for selling, I guess, damaged merchandise. They return it using the damage code, and the damage is there's this these small dents. The kind of like the metal is pushed in here a little bit on the rim of the piece, and that causes the candlesticks, at least that's what the buyer sent pictures of the candlestick not sitting flush with the table, and it was risen above the table, maybe like a millimeter. And so they returned them. And I was like wondering if it's a reasonable return. And I want to ask you guys, do you consider this to be a defect? Because these pieces there's often minor damage to the pieces because silver is soft, especially these sterling weighted pieces with only a very thin layer of silver on it. So I don't know, and I was kind of like trying to figure out, because so say you wanted to use these for like a romantic candlelight dinner, I wouldn't recommend it, at least not without any supervision, because I was wondering, well, does that make the pieces easier to knock over and less stable? And I was like, no, I don't think so. So even this one that they didn't have any complaints with, it's still very easy. And my little padding to do that. I still wouldn't trust even the most perfect of pieces like this one, because the construction on these taller, skinnier ones is kind of top heavy. So I wouldn't want to use them, because if you had a cat or a other dog, pet, whatever, or even a child, or even you're not paying attention, you knock it over on the table, well, your house is on fire. So I don't think that the minor damage to the base here was a reason to return them, and it's not like the damage is so noticeably ugly that it becomes unpresentable if you're okay with presenting these candlesticks in your home as decor anyway. And I guess I kind of like this kind of like is an introduction to another topic I have for you guys. It's like conservatorship of silver, and it's really hard. Like, I wanted to keep these and not destroy them and send them to a scrapyard, so I went through the trouble of listing them and boxing them up. You know, it takes me about 15 minutes to list an auction like this, a listing, because I gotta take photographs and then measure the piece so my customer knows how big it is, because they can't see it in person, obviously. Can't see it in person. So it's like, okay, I'll say like 10 inches, and then the base is 3 inches, and then I gotta wrap it up nicely, and then I'll put it in storage, so I'm paying storage fees, and then once it finally sells, or if I have questions, I have to go recover them, and then answer my customers. It's very time consuming to try to save stuff like this, and after all is said and done for my efforts, I got a defect on my seller's account. Plus, I was on the hook for shipping both ways, both to me for the return and to the customer in the first place, because I picked the most unforgiving category on eBay for returns, damaged inventory. So it kind of sucked. And this isn't enough of a morale killer to completely devastate me, but you know, it's just kind of like it bummed me out. And yeah, that's my little story here. It's hard to sell silver weighted items, even with very minor damage. People don't want it in perfect condition, and most silver weighted items are not in perfect condition, and even the ones that are in perfect condition just sit around for a long time waiting for a buyer, especially when people can take the easy cash, just shred them with pliers and send the unweighted material to a scrap yard, or a refinery, or the coin shop, and be done with it. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys in the future for sure. And yeah, I hope you guys have had a wonderful day. This is a good spot to cut it and send you guys a video. Good Marks is out.